I know, me too.
Which side are you on? Hey!
15 seconds to launch. Places, please. 5 seconds.
Adjust your mojo.
You are about to participate in a great adventure.
Now.
At age, 60? He's just gonna break bad?
Radio with an attitude.
This system that we love is broken.
I know that.
Do not comply.
Hey, mother.
Welcome to another 2 hours of common sense.
That liberty and justice for all is a myth.
And erratic behavior.
You want to, but you can't. And when you do, you wish you didn't.
This is your Daily Mojo.
It is your Daily Mojo for Wednesday. It is Hump Day, February 12th, the year of our Lord 2025. And this is one of those days where I'm nervous because there's so much good news coming in to the newsroom that it's almost like this can't be real.
Yeah.
This is,
Yep.
you know, it's like, whenever I get this feeling, I get slapped back down to reality. And so I don't want to like revel. I don't want to gloat, but damn.
I know. I just kind of sit around and wait for the next good thing to happen.
I want to be an optimist, but again, I don't want to lose myself in the winning here. Score another one for us, a conspiracy theorist. It turns out that in fact Ilhan Omar did marry her brother.
Wow. Didn't we know
I
that,
know.
though? She said she did.
We suspected it.
Yeah. But
now, according to a family friend who has, this was reported via at the Western Journal via MSN. So this is over on the left-wing sites. We should have known it was coming, not because of the facts, mind you, because of feelings like it feels like years, really, since we've had a good Representative Ilhan Omar scandal. They go on to suggest that every time she opens her mouth, something anti-Semitic rolls out. Who knew? According to a report in the UK Daily Mail, sources confirm Omar told friends that her second husband was actually her brother and that the marriage was a scam to get him immigration papers. How is it? I mean, we are told that we are fascists and racists and homophobes and xenophobes and conspiracy theorists, and it turns out we're right so far on. Are we batting 1,000? Because I think we are.
Oh, we have to be. We have to be.
I don't think there's one that we have put out there that hasn't come true.
Hell, even our 1963 JFK conspiracy theories might be coming true. I mean, look.
Don't count your chickens before they're hatched.
I know.
I just don't. I mean, I want to be excited. I really do. But before that, Elon Musk yesterday, or in the words of Dana Perino, Harry Balls. Did you see that where he said, I made her say my name?
Yeah.
Harry Balls. And then Jake Tapper was on his show, and he was just, it's so juvenile what they're doing. Isn't it? Shut up, Jake. Blow me. So
this is how you make a mockery of the mainstream media.
Elon Musk retweeted America First Legal, commenting, terrible. American First Legal, new National Association, what is it? It's the Archives, it's National Archives. Emails further confirm that the classified documents case against President Trump was a sham prosecution that involved the Biden White House from the start, long before the Archives' official referral of classified documents to DOJ for investigation.
Oh, absolutely. That's the hill that Adam Schiff should die on. Okay.
That or the Russian collusion one.
Oh, that one too. God, he's got a lot of hills.
Right. Yes, he really does. By the way, a message for Adam Schiff: blow me. The president has fired the national archivist. Good, because they were in on this thing. They concocted this whole stupid story. I mean, we all knew at the time that it was bogus. We knew at the time that they were in talks with Trump. There had been Secret Service agents or archivists there at Mar-a-Lago that had checked the file. They were like, "Yep, they've got to put a bigger padlock on that door." Okay, and they did.
Yep.
So they knew everything about what was there, and they did this early morning raid simply to make headlines. That's it. Just because they figured there were enough stupid people out there that would run with it on their social media accounts.
Nobody thought he would
him.
ever sit in the Oval Office again. Nobody.
No.
That side.
They really didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they really didn't. And you can read all about it. It's some fascinating reading about the memos that go back and forth between the National Archives and the communications between them and the White House and blah, bitty, blah. But this, I don't know who, was it somebody in the White House that decided, hey, here's what we need to do. We need to blow this thing up. We need to raid Mar-a-Lago. That'll be a fabulous visual. That'll be an incredible sight to behold. We bust in there and we go through Melania's underwear drawer. Not that I'm opposed to that, but it probably isn't proper. But whose idea, whose grand scheme was this? We may never know who it was that initially, came up with the idea and went, that's a fabulous idea. But at least we know now that what we all suspected was true. And then we have another post from Eco, another post on the X, and the account is at Eco Loves You. This one's titled "The Machine Fights Back."
Oh, I gotta read that.
I had an interesting conversation via text yesterday. I had a couple of fascinating conversations yesterday. One with an current FBI agent, who shall remain nameless. But it was fabulous hearing somebody on the inside describing the, shall we say, tension among the management level types right now at the FBI.
Okay.
Puckered, I believe, is the word that came up several times.
Yeah, somebody's going down. I mean, we don't know yet. They've started letting people go. But look, it's just a matter of time.
Yep. So even rest assured knowing that inside the FBI, there are good people that are keeping an eye on things and reporting back. So I'll let you know more about that. But this Eco author, apparently there is a video game with this character EKO in it somewhere. So this actually may be, and this is just my theory, with the OG Babalabala, Robert Labella. He was describing the writing style and all that, and he said this may be AI. So I'm thinking, what if this author of this thread is actually an AI like Her? Remember the movie Her?
Yeah.
Was that Christian Bale?
No,
Christian Bale,
Joaquin
whoever it was. Yeah, same person. That fell in love with this machine.
Yeah.
And maybe this is a machine that is taking in the information, the facts, and spitting it back out in
story form. Yeah.
Narrative form. I mean, it's possible. Wouldn't be the strangest thing, and this would be a great way to beta test. But the piece says, when Doge found empty fields in Treasury's payment system, they uncovered more than missing data. They found a mechanism. Simple things were left blank. And this is why they are freaking the F out in the upper halls of government right now, because this is huge. Simple things were left blank. Payment categories, payment rationales, basic audit controls, the kind of fields any small business would require, the kind that let you track where money goes, the kind that stop $1 billion of fraud every week. Here's what the Treasury didn't want exposed. Over $100 billion flowing annually to accounts without Social Security numbers, no temporary ID numbers, no verification, nothing. When Musk asked Treasury officials how much was unequivocal and obvious fraud, the answer revealed decades of corruption. Half.
Oh,
$50 billion per year. That's $1 billion every week disappearing into accounts that shouldn't even exist. This is the kind of fraud that would shut down any bank in America, the kind that would land any business owner in federal prison. But Treasury had perfected its system. 1, process payments. 2, ignore controls. 3, keep the machine running. And then late last week, something shifted. A judge's order appeared ex parte, meaning only one side could speak. No warning, no defense allowed. Isn't this what they did to Trump in...
Yep, sure is.
In New York, which, how is that even... I mean, it's a lawyer thing. It's Latin-y lawyer stuff. Ex parte. Meaning you can't, if you are the person or the entity, I guess, you're the entity being accused, you can't speak? I guess. No defense allowed, just a wall erected between Treasury officials and their own department's data. Or data. Think about that for a second. Treasury officials weren't even allowed to look at the data or data. Look at the numbers, really look at them. Treasury bleeds 23.87% of its budget to waste, fraud, and abuse. Last time I checked, the Treasury Department was in charge of our money, right? I mean,
money.
They kind of hold the reins to all the money. And money is power, which means they hold the reins to all the power. Almost a quarter of that vanishing into what auditors politely call mismanagement. More than labor at 11%, more than veterans affairs at 10%, more than agriculture at 9%. More than Defense Department's 1.85%, more than Homeland Security's 0.89%. A pattern emerges that the deeper you go into Treasury's operations, the more the waste grows, the more controls vanish, the more fraud flourishes. Until now. Everything at Treasury was geared towards complete minimalization or minimization. There should be another "ol" in there, it feels like. Complaint minimization. Musk revealed after meeting with officials, not accuracy, not accountability, not protecting taxpayer dollars, just keeping the machine quiet. This wasn't incompetence, it was design. Previous management had built a perfect system. Let the fraudsters complain, let them threaten, let them pressure. Easier to process bad payments than face their wrath. This is why they are squealing like stuck hogs. This is huge, and it on its face, it's not sexy. I mean, it doesn't. Well, yeah, the mainstream media isn't out there. They could make it sexy, but they're not because, well, we all know why. But it's numbers. It's numbers on a page somewhere, so it's inherently not real sexy. But this is huge. Is this not the biggest scandal likely to ever hit the country?
Yeah, and you got half of Congress out there going, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do it. No. Wait a minute. Who are you protecting?
Right. It's so weird. Instead of going, whoa, man, you all really uncovered some crazy, crazy fraud. They are
writing songs.
This is, how would you describe this?
A bunch of off-key singing blowhards. I don't know. Something like that.
Just listen for a second.
Which side are you on?
on? Which side are you on? Tell me, which side are you on? Which side are you on? We'll fight against George. We'll fight Elon Musk. No Elon's kept within our walls. We'll fight from dawn to dusk.
Hey, they rhymed dusk with Musk.
Yeah, they did.
Good for them. It's an old folk song that actually may be based on an old hymn or a what they call it, Baptist Methodist.
Yeah, you originally thought it was a slave song, but it's not, is it?
It sounds like a slave song, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But it's about it's kind of, I mean, it's about the coal miner war in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So it's about power versus those without power, etc., which is ironic that they are not really sure they thought that one through, but okay. And so they're out there. I mean, what is it that they think Elon is doing? It's really weird that they're getting all worked up about this. The thing is, because
they don't know what Elon is doing, and they're speculating that he's in there digging through people's personal shit, but he's not.
Why does he want to dig? I mean, why would he want to dig through anybody's personal shit? What would he care?
What would he gain from it?
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. Where did I put Rogan? Hang on a second. Because when you hear Joe Rogan, I mean, he absolutely nails it with regard to what they're doing and why they pissed off the wrong dude with Elon. And they did. They just absolutely went after the wrong person. Joe Rogan on Elon Musk. Yeah, super genius. I mean, I want to get the unedited because it's so. Yes, thank you. Damn it, I thought I had it right here too. You know, it's those damned interns.
I'm about to run out of music. Hurry up.
I'm working on it. You know, I'm kind of enjoying this music now. J.R.E. Elon. He absolutely. See, where the hell it's I'll find it. I will find it momentarily. You know what? It's probably sitting right over here in. It might not be. Wait until we get to the Una Paloma Blanca stuff too.
Oh yeah.
I'm so looking forward to talking about Una Paloma Blanca. But before we do that, don't forget anything. By the way, anything happening over at Mojo Laser Pros that we need to know about, or are you just?
But if you want to, I haven't put them up yet. But if you want to talk about the pens, we started doing pens.
Why haven't you put them up?
I'm in the process of it.
Okay,
because there's a bunch of.
I'll put up the music box while you talk about the pens.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have the photo? Can you show the photo? I just want you to show the photo, please. I could show the photo, but I don't have it up over here.
That'd be great. Why would you think I would have the photo right next to me?
Okay.
I mean, I can show the photo, but it's going to take me a couple of minutes.
All right. Well,
I wasn't ready for you to.
I'll talk about anyhow, we're moving along in Mojo Laser Pros. We're doing fine. We've got a lot of stuff going on. Of course, Brad was showing the music boxes, and we've got a lot of jewelry and stuff out there, of course. But as we get closer to, well, I mean, we are close enough now to Valentine's Day. It was 2 days away. We could touch it.
You can touch it.
There are new gift items that we're coming out with, and I have learned now how to use my lathe, and so I'm turning really kind of what I call luxury pens. And as soon as Brad finds that photograph.
What? No, I'm not looking for the photograph. I'm looking for something different. You just keep going. Keep talking about your great pens.
Oh, yeah. Anyhow, they're really nice pens. So
sell them, baby. Sell them.
I can't sell them. I don't know how to. I can't.
Sure you can.
If I could show them. Let me see. I don't know if I can get them.
You've got the damn picture.
I do. It's just not on the computer that I can use to show people. I'll tweet
Why would
them
you
out.
have a computer that you can't show people on the show? I mean, that's just it kind of makes me, wonder.
No.
That sort of thing.
If I said that the computer that I need to use to show them is a PC, but it's easier for me to show them off of a Mac, then you'd understand because that's where all my photographs are. But I don't have them.
Really?
I didn't know you were going to go to me right now, so I'm sorry.
You didn't?
No.
You're not always prepared with your elevator speech?
I'm not. Hell, I barely even have them up on the site, much less an elevator speech. I just started doing them. They're fun to do, though. I mean, we use different types of wood. I think we're using mesquite, bird's eye maple, purple heart, burl, all kinds of stuff.
Are you using any
really
babinga?
Nice. No, we haven't talked about that yet.
No babinga?
No.
Babinga's good.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the right one or not. All right, so go to mojolaserpros.com, and you won't find them on the site yet.
They'll be there probably this morning,
but
as soon as I get off the air.
awesome.
Yeah, they are.
I'm telling you, they are awesome.
They are awesome. Look, I'll get a photo, and then I can show
They're
you.
awesome. They're covered with awesome. They write, as a matter of fact, with awesome sauce.
They do.
That's what you put in them. You inject awesome sauce into the pens.
God, I hate that I wasn't prepared.
And then the pen spits the awesome sauce back out all over your pages. It's fabulous. It's an incredible system. And it's on what?
Nothing. Go ahead.
You pitched. I just swung. MojoLaserPros.com.
Stupidity is not a competition.
I've now been in 50.
Unless you're a politician.
7 states. I think 1 left to go.
The Daily Mojo. The Daily Mojo.
Don't forget to download the Daily Mojo app on your smartphone. Enable those notifications, and we can, we'll send you love letters every now and then. Tiny, tight little messages. I did get one from that one guy because we were talking about the Jeep. I think it was yesterday or the day before, the Jeep commercial in the Super Bowl, and they, the hybrid Jeep.
With Harrison Ford.
Even though my last name is Ford, which is kind of clever.
Yeah.
But I mentioned, I'm not sure I'd want to have an EV as an off-road vehicle. But that one guy says, I love my hybrid Jeep, but I've never gotten more love or hate based on my vehicle. But the EV part off-road is great because it's instant torque. That's a good point.
Yeah. All right, can I just do this real quick, please?
And I love the fact that as soon as I finish reading that one guy's post, which is important,
yes,
he
sir.
came prepared. Did you? No.
No.
Sit down, Mr. Phillips. We'll call on you. And I love the fact that it's 375 horsepower, 470 pounds of torque, and will pull 0 to 60 at 5.5 seconds on 35-inch tires. Okay, that is kind of cool. Sexy. That's sexy. Getting a little fluffy here. All right, so you got the pictures?
I do. There are 3 of the pens.
See, those are sweet.
Look, that one on the left is mesquite. The one in the middle is bird's eye maple, and then the third one is I put maple and purple heart together and turned that.
Binga.
Isn't that cool? I love those pens.
Do you have any Obawanga?
They're heavy pens, and they write really well. So, yeah, they'll be available on the site.
Heavy.
The pen is heavy.
The pen is heavy.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Heavy is the pen.
Yep.
When are the Obawangu pens coming?
This afternoon. They're nice. I mean, and we can do display boxes and everything. So they're really nice gifts.
Are display boxes anything like display boxes?
Oh my God!
Here's Joe Rogan talking about Elon Musk. I finally found it. I don't know why it was hiding on me. I don't know who the guy he's talking to is. I probably should because this guy looks like I don't know who it is. But he's talking to somebody about Elon Musk and why Elon is doing what he's doing.
Organization. That's fucking amazing. And then this other thing about Elon. Elon's going to steal everybody's money. He has $400 billion. I'm telling you, he's not going to steal your money.
Right.
I'm telling you, that's not what he's doing. What he's doing is he's a super genius that's been fucked with. Okay? And when you've been fucked with by these nitwits that hide behind 3-letter agencies, and you're dealing with one of the smartest people alive, and he helps Donald Trump get into office, and he goes, I want to find out what kind of corruption is really around. Well, you fucked up. You fucked up and picked the wrong psychopath on the spectrum because he's going to hunt you down. He's going to find out what's going on. And that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind that is examining these really fucking corrupt and goofy systems and bringing in a bunch of psychopath wizards.
Right? I mean, that's, by the way, language warning.
Thanks.
Rogan cusses every now and then. But if you're focusing on the language, you're missing the point.
Yep.
The point is they have been dicking with your money forever. Like ever since you started making money and sending it to them, they've been dicking with it. You should be really, really pissed off. And anybody who comes out and says, this is crazy, Elon Musk, I didn't elect Elon Musk. It doesn't
matter whether you elected Elon Musk.
Understand what the hell they even mean when they're getting all upset about him. You have to make so many assumptions that make no sense to think that Elon Musk is in there to enhance his own personal wealth, which, okay. And why would you not be happy that he's uncovering fraud in the federal government? I mean, if you're against Elon Musk uncovering fraud in the federal government, you are retarded. And I mean that in a literal sense. Because that is just stupid. Go, Elon, go.
Yeah.
For crying out loud. Nobody elected Fauci either. And he effed with your life. He's still effing with your life.
That's a fact. Yep.
We have what I think is amazing. Hang on a second. I'm going to play this other. Again, for us conspiratorial conspiracy theorist types. And you have no idea what kind of hoops I had to jump through to get you this clip. By God, I'm playing it.
All right.
It's from the X-Files, Season 3, Episode 3, called Paperclip. Fox and Dana go to this place. It's just outside of Virginia in the show, but they go to this place. It's an old mine. And they go in, and it's like, whoa, you telling me that there's stuff in this, like paperwork on people in this mine? And it just looks old and abandoned. And they find these secret doors that they then have to figure out the code to get in.
Father would have been doing here.
He would.
No, I never came home wearing a miner's cap.
So anyway, the bottom line is this. I knew I had seen it on the X-Files, and I thought, wow, that's hell, everything I learned. I learned from the X-Files. Here come the secret doors. Again, I had to work really hard to do this, so those are all the entrances to the underground caverns.
What do you think?
And I show you this because guess what Dogie uncovered yesterday or the day before?
Secret doors.
Did you know about this?
I did not. What?
So this is a cavernous underground limestone mine. Did I mention it's underground?
Yes.
And it's a mine.
Iron Mountain.
It's called Iron
Okay.
Mountain.
Isn't that?
This is where federal employee retirement papers are processed by hand. It's an old limestone mine in Pennsylvania. It is 700 plus mine workers who operate this thing 230 feet underground. They process 10,000 applications per month, fewer than, because they are stored in manila envelopes and cardboard boxes. The elevator is the only way to get things up and down. It only holds so many. I mean, if you ran that thing apparently all day, you could only get 10,000 workers, or all month, you could only get 10,000 workers worth of paper into it, and sometimes it breaks down. This is why they can only retire 10,000 workers per month, because it's all on paper, it's in a mine, it's underground. Why? This is your federal government at work.
That's a great question. Why? Why is it not in some of them big ass buildings in DC? Why? that are being used for other
Which makes me wonder if that's all it is down there is just, federal retirement paperwork. Devil Dog says, wait, what? You're telling me that in the year 2025, federal employees' retirements are processed by hand in a literal underground limestone mine in Pennsylvania? This isn't just government inefficiency. This sounds like a rejected subplot from Indiana Jones. He says, so let me get this straight. We have AI writing news articles, self-driving cars, billionaires building rockets to Mars, but somehow the federal government is still operating like it's 1885. 700 people working 230 feet underground to process manila envelopes full of paperwork that could easily fit on a USB drive the size of a Tic Tac. The process takes months. What are they doing down there? Chiseling retirement applications onto stone tablets? Meanwhile, the same government wants to track every $600 Venmo transaction in real time, but they need a literal cave full of people to figure out someone's pension. Elon, please, for the love of efficiency, send these people some laptops. Is that not insane?
Yes, it is.
How do you defend that? How do you defend? What is it that they're doing down? It makes me think that might not be all that's going on down there. It makes me think that maybe, just maybe, they're doing secret squirrel shit down there in them that might have to do. I'm not saying it's aliens, but I think it's aliens. See, because that leads me into Una Paloma Blanca. And her, what?
That's Anna Paulina Luna.
What'd I say?
Una Paloma Blanca.
Anyway, Una Paloma Blanca. Who, if she ever decided to hold a naked news conference.
Would you watch it?
Maybe. Anyhow, wasn't she a stripper? Well, I mean, seriously, was she not a stripper?
I don't think so.
Wasn't she? Are you sure? Did I just make that up in my head?
Probably.
I mean, I guess wouldn't be the weirdest thing I've ever made up in my head. Anna Paulina Luna, stripper? I swear. No, maybe not. Luna stripper document. Police report where a witness confirms Anna Paulina Luna worked as a stripper at the Red Rose Gentlemen's Club while she was on active duty. You know what? Doesn't bother me. I'd elect her again. And I don't even live there. Which, by the way, we have some exciting news about Raven.
Oh, cool.
Which, we'll get to that. Cool. But first, Una Paloma Blanca here.
Very supportive, and we've also been told that the CIA director is very supportive. To put it in perspective, I think that this issue transcends not just one administration, but multiple administrations. And
she's talking about the assassinations of JFK, RFK, and MLK Jr. All the Ks.
Hasn't been until now that we've been able to get people actually in positions of power that will push for transparency. Now, if I find that different entities in the various intelligence agencies are stonewalling us, I'm going to make that known to the American people. But as of right now, we are cautiously optimistic.
Is that not just smoking hot? She says, I mean, she's gonna get in there. She's the head of this committee on releasing this information on not just those assassinations, but also on 9/11
and the Epstein client list,
and also Roswell, and everything else that has been a quote unquote closely guarded secret within the halls of our fantabulous government. Which it does make you wonder, how long ago did our government turn against us? Was it 190 years ago? Was it 240 years ago, 10 years into the new... when was it that they decided, F the unwashed, we're going to do it? Which is King thought.
Yeah.
They need me, the king. Which is, again, ironic that they continue to suggest that Trump is a a dictator, that Elon is a dictator and a fascist. It's just really, it's mind-boggling. In my conversation again yesterday with the current FBI agent, who again shall remain nameless, we were discussing the thing that I brought up, that the old days were, and the rules were, don't discuss politics and religion in mixed company. Don't discuss it at dinner. Don't discuss it at, in the family reunions, etc., because it just leads to arguments. Which is true. However, I think it's bad advice. You need to discuss politics and religion, because this is what happens when you don't. You don't have any idea who your friends really are.
Oh, you don't even have any idea who your family is until you start.
Right. Wouldn't you rather know?
Come on, dude. The first time you started figuring out who your family was during COVID.
Yes.
And then you're like,
yep.
I'm not wearing a mask.
Yes.
What? You can't come in my house.
Right. Okay. Sorry about you. I have zero sympathy. For the old people who are scared to death, I do. I have empathy and some sympathy too, because they got suckered.
Yeah.
The old people who trusted the mainstream media, who trusted the government, because why wouldn't you? I mean, they fought in World War II for the country, and so it breaks my heart that the country and the people running the government lied to these people horribly. So I understand that, but it's you've got to discuss these things.
What's your priority list?
Hold on a second.
Epstein, 9/11.
Oh, hey.
Our first investigation will be announced, but it's going to be covering on a thorough investigation into the John F. Kennedy assassination. And I can tell you, based on what I've been seeing so far, the initial hearing that was actually held here in Congress was actually faulty in the single bullet theory. I believe that there were two shooters.
Boom!
Yahtzee! Bingo! Parcheesi! Park Place, whatever you yell when you win Monopoly. Right? I mean, okay, see, I'm starting to think I'm dreaming now, Ron.
I know.
I mean, I feel like, okay, so in 2025, there's going to be a hot babe telling you that she's in charge of the committee to release the information on the JFK, and this hot babe is
and
also
get this, yeah,
going to tell you there's two shooters. This is a dream. I'm dead, aren't I? I'm dreaming. Ron and I did come to the conclusion this morning that we're not gay.
No.
We took the gay test there.
Not at all.
I think she could change your religion to some gay folks. Just saying. What do you think?
It's quite possible.
I'm just saying.
Quite possible.
I mean, and then she starts talking like that. Oh, yeah, baby, I'm in. Over on the X here. What?
Nothing. I was thinking of
Kathy
the
in the
conversation
Birds
I had with Misty last night about Anna Paulina Luna. I showed her a picture
Anna
of her.
Paloma Blanc.
And she said,
really?
she said she's a kid. And I looked at, and I brought up her photograph, her congressional photo, and I said, she's not a kid.
No.
I said, but they did pick the right person to head up this task force.
Why did you emphasize the word head there? I
see what you're doing. I see what you're doing.
Well, no, I just don't think that's proper. And I think that if you're trying to insinuate
forgive me. I'm not
nasty,
insinuating anything.
All right, just making sure.
But I am not gay.
Hang on a second. No, and that's every now and then. It's kind of like back in the day, I would see if I could go a few weeks without drinking anything. Just make sure I'm not an alcoholic.
Yep.
And then every now and then, it's just take a look at a hot babe like that and go, yeah, no, I'm still not gay. Still not gay.
Wow.
And not to say that gay men can't appreciate Una Paloma Blanca's
without a
beauty.
doubt, sure.
Right. DMXDM says over on the X, our founders believed that any government would eventually corrupt and crumble. That's why they designed a system to move slowly. The more we change it and the faster it moves, the worse it gets. He still hates Trump, doesn't he? Still hates Trump. I love you, DM. He'll come around. You'll come around to understand the family. You'll understand, the group. Right, Ron?
Yes, absolutely.
You'll come into the fold. Eventually. We all do. Kathy and the Berg, Bard and Don are having hot flashes.
Who is Don?
Who's Bard? Beaver, 100% accurate. My in-laws went, are you still on Una Paloma Blanca?
Maybe. Why?
Come back to reality. They had testing kits as you walk in the door.
Her in-laws had testing kits. No.
Nope. I will leave before I do that bullshit. Baby shower, masks on the table, mad because we didn't take the jab. They excluded us. Crazy town. Yeah, it's sad, but again, at least you know, and
yeah, now you know.
Now you know. I mean, I've got family members that hate me, so believe me, you eventually do get over it. You truly do. Phil Bell is here with his big mic.
This is Phil Bell on the Daily MoJo Weekly Morning Update. Today's update took 4 takes, and it took 4 takes because I said something good about a liberal Democrat. I know. It's crazy. You see, Jared Moskowitz, who's a Democrat congressman from South Florida, made a floor speech the other day, and he talked about the idea of having a regular budget as opposed to passing what's called a continuing resolution. For more than a decade, the United States has not had an actual budget passed by Congress. This is something that started during the Obama era, and it's continued ever since. And that's for a variety of reasons, but most notably because most members of Congress do not want to go through the process of actually budgeting how we spend. And one of the reasons they don't want to do that is because it requires a lot of tough decisions on what is being spent. Now, you're probably wondering why we're talking about this. It's not because of the impending government shutdown, which, by the way, should be allowed to happen. It's because so much of what Elon Musk and the Doge Committee are doing is closely tied to the way our money is spent. You see, if we went through an actual budget process, and if the members of Congress took the time to say, hey, why are you spending $59 million on luxury hotels in Manhattan? Or, why are you sending condoms to all of these foreign countries? Then we could stop it and we wouldn't have to worry about finding all the rot in government because we would root it out every time we pass a budget. But if we continue to do the continuing resolutions and kick the can down the road, then none of this will change. And everything that Doge is doing would go for naught. So, while it is hard to say something good about a liberal Democrat, today I did it, and what I want you to do is, under this video, let us know after you've reached out to your congressman, regardless if they're Republican or Democrat, and your members of the U.S. Senate, and tell them that you want them to pass a real budget, no matter how long it takes, and to cut all of the insanity. What I also want you to do is download the Daily MoJo smartphone app and enable notifications. That way you'll be up to date on the latest craziness and good stuff coming out of Washington, D.C., and you'll know how to share it with others. We'll see you down the line, and thanks for choosing the Daily MoJo.
Phil Bell's Morning Update is only on the Daily MoJo.com. The Daily Mojo.
Very strange in Nolens. There has been an arrest made in connection with the death of a sports reporter who was there covering Super Bowl 59.
He was a pretty young dude, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He was, he looks like he's in his 30s.
Yeah.
According to authorities, they've arrested Danette Colbert of nearby Slidell, Louisiana, after Adam Manzano was found unresponsive in his Kenner Comfort Suites hotel room. According to said authorities, Colbert was using a credit card belonging to Manzano at several shops in the New Orleans area. Colbert was also seen on video at the hotel showing, I thought it said showering, showing her with Manzano on Wednesday and leaving the room alone later in the morning. See? As it happens, you go out there thinking you're going to get lucky.
Yep.
And you end up dead. Thankfully, Chris Worrell is not. Chris Worrell is another of the J6 hostages, as I call them, who has been finally released. He's been pardoned. Chris, welcome to the Daily MoJo, sir.
Hey, thanks, guys. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm having some technical difficulties.
No, actually,
Right.
we hear you perfectly. Yeah,
Beautiful.
Keep your fingers crossed.
Good morning. Thank you
First of
for
all,
having me on.
oh, absolutely. Welcome back. How long were you? In custody?
Well, on and off, 1,492 days total, I think, is what we've determined. I don't know, there may be some discrepancy there, but roughly 1,492 days. My first 240 days are spent in the gulag, completely tortured, and they literally tried to kill me in that prison, in that jail.
Unbelievable. I mean, there's every time we talk to a J6er, and we've what is it, 2 or 3 now?
We've
Ron?
had 3 on, yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely heartbreaking, and the stories are incredible. Tell us yours. What happened? Just go as far as January 6th, back in 2021. What happened that day? Why were you there? And you were also, just in full disclosure, are you a Proud Boy still? I don't. How does that work? Are you a Proud Boy for life? I don't know.
It's supposed to be a Proud Boy for life. I mean,
all right.
January 6th. It's my opinion and the opinion of many others. Look, there was a spiritual calling to come that day by many. We felt it. Over 2 million. There's some discrepancies at 2.2, 2.5 million people showed up in this city that day. It wasn't coincidence. And the government used the nation rising up to develop a scheme against the American people. And it worked for 4 years. And now it's our turn.
You know, you say it worked for 4 years. I'm not sure that it. I think they tried to make it appear to be working, but I think there were a majority of us out here who believed that it was a bunch of crap, who believed that there wasn't an insurrection, that it was at worst it was a protest that in some areas got out of hand, and I'm not even still convinced that those were anybody who was a Trump supporter. I'm sure that there were some in some cases, but I think that it was infiltrated. I'm just giving you our viewpoint, so you know you are amongst friends here.
Well, you're exactly right, and you listened to the Clay Higgins interview that he did with Tucker Carlson. I believe it was last year, 24. Look, they have the evidence. He said that day 200 plus conservatively. Alphabet Soup, confidential human sources, Capitol Police, Metro Police were involved that day. It's what we were all touting for years, but told we were crazy. This was a Fedsurrection. They set it up. It was set up way into into 20, the ending of 20. The receipts are there. You dig into the CARES Act, there's money allocated, but they want to tell you they didn't know January 6th was going to happen. That's what they kept saying. We didn't know it was going to happen, but you planned it. Right. You planned it. You ruined lives. You weaponized the government against American citizens, and regardless of your minuscule crimes, you might have got some of us on doing, and whatever. I have no judgment, none, because you chose to weaponize the government against us. You attacked us military style, indiscriminately deployed non-lethal munitions that day on January 6th against all regulations and training. You intended to kill, but you didn't care that you beat Roseanne Boylan to death and then drug her lifeless body by her foot into the building while people are doing life-saving techniques. You didn't care about Kevin Greason, and I always forget the other gentleman's name, it's bad of me, that died from flashbangs to the chest that day. You didn't care that Lieutenant Byrd blatantly and criminally shot Ashley Babbitt dead with no weapon and then hide him out at Andrews Air Force Base for months because he's in fear for his life. But
we have two unofficial slogans here at the Daily Mojo. First, Bird is a murderer, and second, Harry Dunn is a pussy. That's kind of the way we look at things, just so you know. All right, so January 6th, you decided you would go. Had you decided prior to that you were going to be there in D.C., and did you do it because Trump made an announcement? What was your feeling? And I know you said it was a calling, but was it, do you remember the moment where you said, I need to go. I need to go to D.C.?
Well, I'd have to back up into December of 20 when I ran the streets in December 12th weekend hunting Antifa down as they were protected by the Metro Police Department in D.C., but yet they're leaving people for dead in alleys and stabbing and beating people up all through November up there at the previous month's rally and trying to do it again in December. And then here they are in January being bussed in with, I believe it was 2 Virginia State police officers, 2 or 3 buses bussed in that morning of Antifa, but they didn't exist per judges. And my judge, Lamberth, made it very clear. There was no Antifa. But the famous picture of me allegedly pepper spraying the cops that were 25 feet to my right with a 4-ounce can that I carried with the Antifa guy on my arm, he wasn't there. That wasn't Antifa. You got Pelosi's daughter's husband 25 feet to my right pushing and beating on those police, but he's not indicted. I mean, we can go on.
Is this
days.
the?
You don't have enough airtime.
Is this the image? Is this the image?
Oh yeah,
that
there
you're
he is.
to?
There's my Antifa guy right there. That look at his eyes and zoom in on there and look at where he's looking up because I just had words with him, and I told him he was messing with saved his ass. That guy in the black ski mask under my arm.
Under his arm, Brad, right there. Yeah,
there he is. Look at the look. Is he got a face tattoo on his what's he got on his left eye? He's looking at me because I just told him I was getting ready to F him up. As his buddies were throwing these fence rods 25, 30 feet to our right up on the cops on the second tier, and it brought munitions down on us. And that's what saved his ass because I lost him because tear gas cans and these big black grapefruit grenades started landing on us because of those guys. You could see the woman to my right there, just to that guy on the left, in front of my hand where there's, my hand is up. And there with red mittens on her face. It's cut off in that picture, but she's covering her face because she sees my hand come up and I'm blasting these dudes that are 25 feet to the right. I'm allegedly pepper spraying cops that are 25 feet to my right there, with a 4-ounce can of spray. If you can make that math work, okay. I think that's like a 10-foot under shot, you know.
Let me pause you right there for just a second because I remember looking at this picture, and Ron, I don't know if you remember or not, but I remember saying out loud on this program, we don't know what in the hell is over there on the right-hand side. We don't know what he's pepper spraying.
Yeah.
We have no idea.
But that was their solid
Us,
evidence. That was Exhibit A. Yeah. That was their whole case. They couldn't, out of 40,000 hours of video that are out there, they claimed are out there, they couldn't have one video of who I've been, but they got the photographer that took that picture and 2 agents. One was a female, one was a male. I can't remember, the FBI. They testified, we have no idea who his target is. But you found me guilty of 111A and B, assault and assault with a dangerous weapon on officers. And you had officers get up on the stand that couldn't identify me, that we had them on video 3-4 feet in front of me where I'm talking to them. That weren't in that spot, they were to the left. But it was, look, the January 6th investigation was bigger than the Russia hoax. They attacked the American people. They tried to ruin our lives. They tried to kill me.
You sound kind of pissed.
Yeah, you're damn right I'm pissed. This is the
I
most
would be too. I'm totally with you.
Look, the PTSD I deal with through this, or what they did to me in that DC jail, and through the BOP, it's tough. And I run a roller coaster, and some days it's anger. You got me fired up. You at the beginning of your show, your energy got me fired up. I was in a lull about 30 minutes ago. So,
well, we and again, Ron and I have many times on this program said, if we were in prison, if we had been, whisked away, that at least we had some sort of an advantage because of the audience of this program. At least there might be somebody out there trying to get us out, trying to keep us connected in some way, shape, or form. But hell, look, they even did it to Steve Bannon. They put him in prison. So this was clearly, in my opinion, a government out of control. I think yours may have been the first story that we talked about with the shock and awe of the I think it was the FBI when they first went to your home after the events of January 6th. What did they show up in your front yard, in your neighborhood?
Well,
is that how they came to you first?
Well, yeah, let me paint that picture. So on January 16th, they randomly showed up at my house. I'm on the phone with a friend. Somebody knocks on the door. It just doesn't happen here. People I know come to my house. I know they're coming. And I answer the door. My buddy's on the speaker. A friend of mine who used to be a friend of mine anyway was on the phone with me that morning. I opened the door, and it's Alex Grandy of the JTTF agent, 20 plus years of Collier County Sheriff's Department local here, and of course JTTF FBI. And this is when I knew this is the beginning of the craziness. So I opened the door, and he hands me his card, and he goes, "Hi, I'm Alex Grandy. I'm with the FBI, and you're not in any trouble." Like, the door's not even open. I'm looking at my phone, at my buddy, like, what? Yeah, do you mind if we come in? No, yeah, you're not coming in. Let's walk out here. And I walked him on the side of my truck under my Ring camera on purpose. And I told him, I said, my buddy's going to say on speakerphone here. They embellished that interview. They tried to write, and I can find the documentation. I'm sure it's public too. How they said that I was enraged during this interview, and but the video doesn't show any of that. Now, mind you, I'm standing in my driveway talking to the FBI. He's investigating a domestic terrorist, and stall on that for a minute because we're going to lead into that. You are investigating a domestic terrorist for showing up in Washington, D.C. on January 6th. Now, we know who our source, one of my main sources was one of my wife's best friend's husband. We won't disclose much more than that. Yeah. And then, so
they turned you in?
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Okay.
Because all of a sudden I wasn't allowed to go through Tallahassee, Florida. As like it's a 6-hour drive from where I live in Florida. I'm in the farthest southwest. That was one of the one of the things I couldn't do. So fast forward, let's go into this. So FBI, Grandy, and some other guy wouldn't really identify himself. Maybe he did. I'd have to go watch the videos. You ask me all these questions. I tell them flat out, why aren't you knocking down NT? Oh, yeah, they played the soft side. Yeah, whatever. I'm not dumb. I'll play the game with you. And they left January 16th. Now, fast forward.
How long were they there? How long did you stand there talking to them?
15-ish minutes. I don't know, something like that.
Okay. All right. So they leave.
They leave. Now, mind you, I'm standing there during that whole interview. I got a pistol on my side. I mean, I don't travel without 7 days a week. And it's like my wallet. So you think he's an FBI agent? He's investigating a domestic terrorist. You think he asked me if I had any weapons on me? No. Now we're going to lead up to March 12th. Now they got the warrant signed on March 10th of 21 for a domestic terrorist. They didn't serve it until the 12th for a domestic terrorist. On the 11th, your domestic terrorist is not even being surveilled because they didn't even realize that I had left with a loaded pickup truck full of camping gear on a pre-planned 3-day canoe camping trip with a friend. I'm gone. I left on the 11th. The morning of the 12th, when my wife called me, I ignored my Ring camera alert because I figured it was dog walkers. I got my perimeter set out pretty good. We had all kinds of issues, door handle guys in the neighborhood and stuff. So this year, I know my wife's calling me. It's like 20 after 6. Well, that's not happening. The wife is not alive at 20 after 6. Okay. Hey, babe, remarkably calm. I give her kudos. Hey, babe, the FBI is here. They have a search warrant, arrest warrant. The whole time I'm trying to get on my camera. Well, they ripped the Ring camera off the garage because I couldn't get on. She tells me they flashed through a flashbang outside the house. She opened the front door. She had the measles is the way she described it. Held her at gunpoint for hours. Bearcat parked on the front yard. I'm in constant contact of coming home. Alexander Grandy tried to embellish that I refused to turn myself in at the nearest place I was when he asked me the question, Chris, would you please go? Sir, I'd like to come home and see my wife before you take me in custody. Okay, that's no problem. That's how fast the conversation took. But yet I refused. That was one of the things that they made a big thing in court. I refused to comply. And then he's like, oh, well, due to the safety of the community and the people, and, you know, he's armed and dangerous. And we decided to just let him drive 4 hours home. And then when you come home, now you promised to bring me inside and talk to my wife, and he did. I'll give credit due where it's due. He did honors promise. Let me sit with my wife and talk to her. But then this very strange event occurred. So Chris, we have this search warrant. Here it is for your house. Listen, you can open up your gun safe, or we're gonna have to break it open. But we're not here for your guns. I'm gonna pause there for a moment.
Yeah, and actually, let me pause you there.
Don't go there.
All right, go ahead, because I need to take a quick small break. Hang on, just 1 second. We have to do this little behind the scenes. It's literally going to be like a second. This is just to get the podcast in order. So we'll do that, and then we'll continue on with Chris Worrell's story from January 6th here on the Daily Mojo.
If you're offended, you're listening wrong. The Daily Mojo.
Pecan Pie 82 over in the Daily Mojo chat room says, come on, tacos and beer, and Taco Babe and the Zoe. They're whooping it up over in the chat room. What we're learning is the FBI is a bunch of liars and really don't take domestic terrorists seriously, Freebie 38 said. Yeah, pretty much. Wade Robertson says, Christopher sounds like a young Rocky. You ever been told that? You kind of do. You have a Sly Stallone.
Well, I've got this bastardized accent because I'm born and raised on Eastern Long Island, been through the Carolinas, Georgia, and now South Florida. So I'm like a mutt, East Coast mutt.
All right. So when we took a break, you had gotten home. You got to see your wife. The FBI let you go in and see your wife. They said the FBI says they're not there for your guns. They want you to open the safe. They're going to blow it open if you don't. Go. What happened next?
Okay. So, yeah, we're going to break it open, Chris. You know, we're not here for your guns. Now, I don't know what they were looking for because all they took, just to give you guys some insight here, only thing they took was my laptop, my phone, alleged clothes I wore January 6th, and Proud Boy stuff. That was their evidence against me. But they left my guns, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to describe, I'm at an air of caution here. I don't care. Look, anybody that knows me knows I'm an outdoors guy. I'm a hunter. I'm a shooter. It is what it is. I'm a red-blooded, red, white, and blue American. So when I came home that 4-hour drive, I had my 2 pistols with me always. I have a Glock 42 and a Glock 23. I left them with my buddies 4 hours north. I said, well, they're there. They're not getting everything. Well, turns out they got nothing. Yeah, you would have thought. You'd have thought. But it turns out it was needless. Because they left my 7 long guns, multiple 308s, 5.56, AR platforms, Remington 700, 12 gauge super mag, and 10,000 rounds in the closet of multiple calibers, at least 10,000, I don't know. But in that closet, they were looking for the stab vest you clearly see me wearing in that picture you displayed earlier, but they couldn't find it. Now, to give you an idea, there it is. There's the back of it with my Camelback. Oh, they took that. That was evidence too, the Camelback. I don't know why. It had water in it. And you can find some other pictures that show the front, and I'm hoping you'll do that and then hold on to them for a moment. Hold on to those for a moment because we're going to get to a real important situation here.
All right.
So you just did military raid on a domestic terrorist home. You leave his weapons. Now, I know they didn't even really touch my weapons because I have a go bag in my safe that has a level 4 vest in it, and it's pretty set up. Mags on it, the whole 9. And I know they didn't even take that out of the bag, nor do I even think they unzipped the bag because I'm pretty methodical in my ways, and I leave things a certain way, and I know they didn't take it out of the bag if they unzipped the bag. But you just raided a domestic terrorist home. Okay. Keep going. Now, in the closet, one arm's reach away, is these ammo bins that have ammo in them, but one of them is empty and has my stab plate you saw I was wearing on January 6th. And they even have in their report that they couldn't find it. Well, it was sitting on top in the closet on top of 4 of these ammo crates, all by itself, in the case. Right there. This is our FBI now, guys. They're doing quality investigation work here, and they are in a domestic terrorist home. They're being thorough. Now, so let's fast forward. I go through my 8 months of 240-something days in D.C. jail, 9 times in court, denied 8. The Antichrist, Beryl Howell was my first judge. I lost in 3 appeals, emergency motions to get me home to doctor's care with doctor's letters, everything you needed. Finally, in October, June, I got Judge Lamberth. We played a little game there we can talk about later, how I talked my lawyer into doing something new. An appeal was going to kick it out, but kick it back to the court and hopefully get in the judge lottery. And it worked. I got out of Howell.
Right.
June, we saw Lamberth. Now, he denied me going home, but we opened his eyes because October 15th of 21, he held the DC DOC director, Quincy Booth, and the warden, Wanda Patton of the DC jail in contempt of court when they were caught manipulating, omitting, fabricating, you name it, with my medical records, they lied. They were doing zero for me. It was smoke and mirror work.
And
They
to
knew I had a
clarify,
court hearing.
you had cancer. You knew what was your medical condition?
I've had cancer since 2007, sir. I had carcinoma and lymphoma.
Okay.
Then I cured the carcinoma. Lymphoma is a lifetime disease.
Gotcha.
So,
all right. So they knew.
We proved that.
You let them know.
100%. Oh, 100%. These doctors looked me in my face, told me my doctor at home wasn't qualified. We're not giving you your previously prescribed medicine. Yada, yada. We can dive into that. That's a whole show by itself, the DC jail.
Understood. Right.
So get home. Okay, finally, the contempt happens. Of course, Merrick Garland does nothing with it, so the contempt order had to expire. The judge had to dismiss it. But had him criminally screwing with my medical records and proof. And the marshals even went in the week after, I believe it was, and brought more evidence back to Judge Lamberth the following week. I believe that was a Thursday, October 15th, the day they were held in contempt. I remember because I was in the hole for 16 days. And then, so what they would do is smoke and mirror me. They would rush me to some outside medical appointment. It would just be a consultation thing. Maybe I even had a biopsy done. But you had me for 8 months. You didn't even get the diagnostic phase over. Fast forward, November 5th, I get a hearing with Lamberth. Lamberth pulls me out of that DC jail after that hearing within 90 minutes, I think it was, in fear for my life and my safety. He said it at the court hearing. Marshals had me in their possession. They took me to Alexandria. The next day, me and the wife flew home after getting all but anally probed at the Reagan International because of the domestic terrorist title I am badged with. So I come home with stage 3 cancer. Surgeries, hospitalizations for 2 years. And the whole time, you guys can read it. In every oral motion that they delivered in court, every written motion, the prosecution, William Dreher and Alexis Loeb, continually, all through sentencing, every stage, that I fabricated and embellished my illnesses. So they're complicit with nearly having me killed. And I want justice.
Let me, and I don't blame you. And I know we're jumping around a little bit here. I just want to, I want to go back to the FBI. And thank you for, I know this has got to be tough to relive this, because I would be, if I were in your shoes, so completely pissed beyond words. I'm not even sure I could talk about it. But so the FBI comes to your house. They tell you they're investigating domestic terror. They basically, so they've accused you of being a domestic terrorist, right?
They haven't said those words. They never put those words out, and they were really
okay.
They were really cautious about saying that. But you already knew. It wasn't like I had a wanted poster from the DC district, and then the FBI had me out there. I wasn't going to call them up. Come get me. I don't know nothing. You already know who I am. You talked to me January 16th. You can't pick up the phone and call me and say, Chris, man, we need you to come in. No. We need to do this FBI SWAT military raid on your neighborhood to put your neighbors in fear for standing up.
All right. So they after they've come to your house, after you've come back home from 4 hours north, you've spoken with them. Is that when they take you into custody at that point, right?
Yes. March 12th.
From
I was
that,
taken before
from that,
Judge McCoy.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And how long were you at that point from then forward? How long was it that you were in custody, in jail or prison?
From March 12th until November 5th, 6th of 21. That's when I came home
Okay.
from Judge Lambert's order. But let me make another point here, that the violation of due process and constitutional law. So there's what they call the Extradition Act, not the Extradition Treaty. That's for non-citizens and outside. The Extradition Act. And Florida's Extradition Act, every state has their version that goes with it. I forget the 18 USC version right now, but Florida's state law that goes along with it is 940.00. Now, this is something myself, Trennis Evans, a few of us have brought up to light. Of course, it gets the door slammed to your face. Nobody wants to talk about the Constitution. Nobody honors their oaths of.
And believe me, when y'all were in there, we were screaming from the mountaintops that even if somebody had committed murder, that they
Correct.
would have been at least taken before a court and had their day in court faster than any of y'all were ever given. I mean, they slow walked the prosecution, the presentation of any case so ridiculously. It was obvious what they were doing, and it worried us, quite frankly, because we had heard stories about from inside about the conditions in the DC jail, about how y'all were being treated. So we were out here, making as much noise as we could, and we knew that there was more of a story. When they released you the first time in October, why did they release you?
November.
Why were you released?
November 5th. Because Lambert realized that the DC jail got busted with fabricating, deleting, omitting medical records regarding my situation. Sent me home on ankle monitor. And mind you, I'm on house arrest now. But and I want to get back to two things. So please bring me back to the FBI situation and discuss that, because there's some more to be said there. But Lambert sent me home, and he made it clear that I wasn't allowed to talk to the media, internet, while I was home. So why? I don't have internet.
Right. Why would you not be allowed?
Stomping on my constitutional rights. And now I'm home, and you sent me home so I can go to doctor, but now I got pretrial services in my face going, oh yeah, you have to get these doctor's appointments approved before you make them. So it took, and then the prosecution tried to use that angle during arguments. Oh, Mr. Worrell's so sick and so proud. Look, he got home November 6th. It took him till mid-January to get an appointment. But wait a minute. The DC jail and you all made the same argument against me in front of Beryl Howell and in appeals, and said Mr. Worrell could not go home and get any better care and couldn't get any appointments any faster. Now it's a thing on your side. So which way is it?
Right. And they were trying to have it both ways.
Appointment though, 2 weeks. Within 2 weeks of me getting home, I could have had 3 probably appointments I needed. Labs, biopsies done at a dermatologist and my Florida cancer specialist doctor. And I could have had that done in 2 weeks. But no, I had to go through this process of them calling my doctor's office to, Mr. Worrell, have an appointment on Monday at 2 o'clock with you? Okay, thank you very much. But you just sent me home because the judge just sent me home because you got busted violating my civil and human rights for medical care. That's just one thing. We'll get into the rest of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And all this time, did you have an attorney at this point?
I went through many attorneys. Paid for.
How'd you afford them?
By the grace of God and people that donated money in 21 to us. I was blessed. The American people, because the American people also, if it wasn't for them in 21, when I came home, I wouldn't have been able to afford the chemo. I paid for that, a lot of that out of pocket in 22, throughout my 22 medical stuff. And if you go on my Gibson Go, you want to read what happened to me, you can go on my Gibson Go. .for Patriot support. It's right there. QR code. If you want to scan it, I hear it works if you zoom in. But you can read my story. You can read what happened to me. I just put out a new update this year, but there's updates throughout, all the way through 22, 23 on what was going on with me. Much more we obviously didn't. I was going through a lot at that point, as you can imagine. But look, January 6th needs your help, people. I'm embarrassed. I'm humiliated to have to ask, but we can't get jobs. We don't have insurance. We can't get it. We're unbankable almost. There's some help going on there, but we don't have anything. We came home with this glorious pardon. Look, I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. I thank my Trumpinator for saving my life. You gave me a pardon, sir. As a man of his word, that man is a beast. And we need to come up with, I said this on another podcast yesterday, and we need to come up with, he's going to give out a lot of medals. Well, we need to come up with a presidential presentation medal for him. And I don't know what we do to blow Donald Trump away with some kind of medal or that, but he deserves. That man will never be replaced. Nobody will ever do what he's done for this country the last 4 years and in his first 3 and change weeks-ish. Look, he's untouchable.
Agreed.
Thank you, Donald Trump.
Chris, hang, no, don't go anywhere because I'm going to do this little break thing again. I want to read a couple of tweets here. So go ahead and take a breath. And we've got another 20, 25 minutes. So we'll get to everything. We'll tweet out the Give, Send, Go. We'll get you covered. Let's see. Over in the Rumble chat room, Missy13 said there was no constitution. She's right. For 4 years. Marine in the Woods, under the Constitution, probably 85 to 90% of the laws and codes passed are unconstitutional. All right.
Sure.
Let's see here. Ron, go ahead and put the gifts and go up there, please, while I'm reading these. Let's see. Wombat Mommy, did they just do the you didn't get pre-approval for your emergency surgery? Sounds like it. I want to read a couple of tweets here over on the X. Kathy in the Berg, when the government is done growing up, do we get a medal? Exactly. So, and DMXDM says, so who was getting pepper sprayed? I'll ask that question here in a second. And again, if anybody would like to join the discussion, use the hashtag What I Learned Today, and don't forget to download the Daily MoJo app over at thedailymojo.com. Our conversation with Chris Worrell continues here in just 1 second.
The Daily Mojo.
As I said, literally 1 second. We have been talking for the better part of the last hour or so with Chris Worrell. He is a released January 6th, what we call hostages, because of the time that they spent in the DC gulag. I want to get back to you had some more things you wanted to say about the FBI. Let me ask real quick, though, about the pepper spray. DM says, so who was it that was getting pepper sprayed? Just to clear that up, who was over there on the end of that stream of pepper spray? Do you remember?
Well, I don't know who they were. I wanted to unveil. I was planning on ripping the hoodie off the guy underneath my right arm when I got the split second, but tear gas and flashbangs changed that. But his buddies who were that looked at. Do I really know where that landed? I can't honestly tell you because of as I was deploying, moments after, like within 3-4 blinks of an eye after that picture, munitions came down. I knew where my target was, and that was this guy's, I'm assuming, buddies, because there was a guy up on that. There's a broader picture for that, and if you can find it, that woman with the mittens, there's 2 or 3 people standing to her left, which would be to the right in the picture, and there was a guy up there with his face unmasked. That there seemed to be some conversations taking place with eye contact and stuff with the guy under my arm and the guys that were to the right. I was observing this whole thing because I came to that point at those steps. I was 20 feet back before I came to that point, and a little bit left of that. But I'm observing all this going down as I'm helping an old lady that couldn't see, couldn't breathe. That's on video. That was saved on my phone video. Not on my body cam, and we'll get into that next.
Here's that wider shot. There's the woman with the mittens there.
There's a much wider picture of that even. To the right, to her left, or the right of the picture with the woman in the gloves, there's 2 or 3 people, I can't remember, standing off her left because there's more room there. There's a broader picture on the internet somewhere of that. But if you find a picture of me up front,
just so I understand, you're saying that the little Antifa weasel down here, you're saying that his buddies, you saw them over there in that area. That's what you were shooting toward.
I'm assuming because they're dressed similarly.
Okay.
You look at all around in these pictures of on January 6th, you see people dressed like me, maybe patriotic clothes. You don't see many all in black with black ski masks.
Right. Yep. Totally with you. Totally with you. Yeah, and by the way, you look scary. You look scary wearing the stab plate and the Camelback. Because that's what everybody's that people think, well, why, he looks scary. He's got all these weapons of war, blah, blah, blah.
Wait a minute, hold on. Let's make a clarification on that for those out there that don't understand what a weapon is. A weapon is not a defensive situation. That is to protect me. I'm not going to use it and kill you with it. I guess maybe, I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody doing that. Not even a soldier or him taking off his gear and beating you to death with it. It's going to take a minute to get that off.
Right.
So
probably not the best idea of weapons, right?
Weapon of war, and the prosecution used that. I came prepared for war, they said, but I don't have a weapon on me.
Right. Yeah, that their whole narrative on that has changed.
As a weapon.
Right.
That pepper spray was legal per DC statute. I was not inside a federal building. I had no intention of going in a federal building. Even the prosecution admitted that in trial. They said, we know he had no intention. But let's get back and please pull up the picture of the front of me. And that picture of the front of my vest. And you'll see there's a few of them out there. Because let's have a real common sense discussion about some things now.
All right, I had one earlier. I don't know what I did with it now.
While you're looking, I'm going to give a little monologue here. So there it is. Oh, that's a great one right there. That's perfect.
There you
go. You see my little 4-ounce can of pepper spray right there behind my phone. Such a dangerous and deadly weapon. I don't even know. Right. I mean, at this point, I put that stuff in my coffee. It's like flavor, and I've had so much of it, it doesn't even do nothing to me. But I used to go around the DC jail and I'd ask the guards when I was making coffee in the morning, I'd be like, hey, can I get a shot of that? I don't have enough in my bloodstream anymore. But let's take a look up on my center of my chest. And what do y'all see there?
Don't tread on me.
What might that be? No, yeah. Okay.
Oh, the GoPro.
Thank you for acknowledging that. Let's go more sense. Yeah, a GoPro. So.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what. Yeah, if you're going to commit a crime, you don't want to get video evidence of yourself committing the crime. Why were you wearing it? What happened to that footage?
I was wearing it for obvious reasons, and there was 7 hours, 26 minutes, and 32 seconds on that body cam of continual footage from the morning we started walking down the mall until I got off the steps. I don't know, 3:30, 4 o'clock, somewhere in there. I was back in the hotel by 4:30. I was done. I was gassed out, literally.
Right.
So the FBI took that into possession on March 12th with my little camera bag. I have another bag similar to it that I have stuff in, and it had a memory card that was formatted for my canoe camping trip, and then it also had the memory card from that day in there, but it had already been downloaded on my laptop. I believe it was downloaded. I know I viewed partial of it. I never had time to go through it. I think I watched like the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes of it or something, and I got busy.
Right.
As funny as it sounds, I got busy and I didn't get to view it. But the FBI told my attorney there's nothing on the memory card. So my 72632 is gone. Now, I wonder why that would be. Let's propose a couple questions there. And I'll make them as questions. Feel free to throw your opinion down. But I wonder who I had on video that day. Like 20 feet to my right of the famous picture of me spraying that you pulled up, Nancy Pelosi's daughter's husband, and I don't know the dumbass's name. I don't care. I've heard it. People have told me.
That's
he's over
Mr.
there.
Dumbass to you.
Oh, sorry, sir. Sorry. I won't make that mistake again. And he's pushing on that police line that I allegedly sprayed that was in riot gear, pushing on the bike rack and pushing against cops. But he never got arrested and indicted as a domestic terrorist. I wonder why that is. So I wonder how many people I have on video that were these, according to Mr. Higgins, and I believe every word he says, that there's 200 plus conservatively feds, Capitol Police, Metro Police, Park Police, confidential human sources involved in that day's planning.
Right.
Here's my question for you. Please answer. Anybody in the public that has the answer to that, I want to hear it. So you
right.
deleted, exonerated me from the charges.
You don't have that video then. Is that what you're saying? That video disappeared and you've not seen it since?
Well, I haven't got my property back. When I do finally get it from the FBI, my phone, my laptop, my camera, my night vision monocular they took, things like that, I am going to not turn it on in my residence for fear of a malware explosion. And I'll bring up something on I know of at least one case, and I'm about to get this done in my discovery file, that there is absolute proof that when they sent out our discovery that there's malware embedded in it as well. Continue that.
You're saying that
I'm not going to dive into that any deeper at this point.
All right. Now, you wanted to make a point about the FBI. Ron, do you remember what Chris said about the FBI? Or Chris, do you remember what you wanted? You said make sure you get back to the FBI. I'm trying to
dive in and
I know,
dive out.
I know, and believe me, they're and that's okay. That's quite all right. I want to, and I'm just going to ask you right here. Do you? I want to, in the next couple of weeks, I want to record some stuff with you, and we can just ramble on forever without any time constraint, and that way we can make sure that everything that your story is completely told. Because of the constraints of the show here. Please do.
Because I know we're getting down to the end of your time. And here's what I'm asking for you, we the people, my patriots. I thank you for all your support, first off. Your letters, your commissary donations, prayers, all of it. It mattered. So I thank you first. But this fight is not over, people. And I say this with a lot of conviction. This fight has just begun. We're still not a free constitutional republic yet. We're doing a damn good job, thanks to our president and others. Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, when he kicks in the doors of the FBI building this week, I can't wait. But I need your help. They're killing American people in these jails and prisons across this country. It's with malice. It's with intent. It's with the most inhumane hearts I've seen. I need help, people. If you can afford to donate, please do. I can't even afford to get the medical attention I need right now. I'm out of pocket. I need your help to fight this.
And I'll tweet out the gifts and go. We'll get that as broadcast out there as we can. Let me ask you about the DC Gulag. Can you describe the conditions in there and how you were treated?
Well, the conditions, it was a painted over, from what we learned in the December 20 CARES Act. Remember, let's focus that they didn't know January 6th was going to happen. There was money allotted to the DC jail, pod C2A and C2B, which was apparently an elderly pod and a juvenile pod, from what we were told by multiple officers over time in there and others. That they were evacuated somewhere in September to October of 20, if I remember right. Those pods they painted over all the mold. They dressed up, they put lipstick on a pig basically, and then prepared the DC jail with money that was allotted to them, but they didn't know January 6th was going to happen, and prepared a place for January 6ers that they didn't know existed. And, let's make another valid point that was shown and proven. And then you also had these throwaway style one-use gas masks apparently installed under congressional seats. And the people of Congress on January 6th did not even know they were there. And they were just installed allegedly in November, December of 20, from what I heard. I don't know all the particulars here, but would you install gas masks in the House of Representatives chambers for? And not tell the House of Representatives that they're there. It's like when you get on a plane and that little lady stands up, and sometimes a man stands up at the front of the plane. They show you how to put your seatbelt on, and they tell you there's a flotation device under your seat.
Yep.
We skipped that in the House of Representatives when they installed life-saving gas masks for an event they didn't know was going to happen.
Let me ask you about the Proud Boys. Because we've heard so much. The Proud Boys is it a racist organization? What is the Proud Boys all about? And why are you a Proud Boy? Set the record straight.
Racism. Man, we're so racist. We've got black Cuban guys as our chairman, my brother Enrique. We got, I don't know how many different Spanish countries throughout the state of Florida and across the country. We've got, I knew a Muslim guy, Jewish guys, gay guys. I mean, we're so racist and like
homophobic.
We're unapologetic.
You do.
I get it. Oh yeah, homophobic.
If you're racist, you're doing it wrong.
Well, I'm a domestic terrorist too. I haven't figured out how to murder anybody yet. I'm like Ahmed the dead terrorist, except I didn't blow myself up. And there's a whole bunch of us. Like, we're domestic terrorists, but we forgot to terrorize.
Right. Totally with you.
None of us showed up with fuses in our shoes. None of us showed up with a weapon. I don't know anybody that got weapons charges, but I do know, like, there was a Fed that I guess it was arrested because he's standing there holding his jacket open with his badge and his gun on his right hip, and he got arrested for January 6th. I don't know the particulars what happened with that, but there's your gun.
I remember that story. Yeah, I remember that story.
The American people showed up by the millions, over 2. How many couldn't show up in the millions that wanted to? But we're supposed to believe that Joe Biden got 81 million votes or some dumb shit.
I know.
Call me. I'm now a real estate agent. I got some great property I can sell you. Quick. Bridges, property, anything you want. Call me. If you're that gullible, I need money.
All right.
I'm not going to lie.
Last question for this discussion. How do you feel about America? Do you love America? Do you hate America? What's your feeling about the country at this point? And what do we need to do? And I know to be concise, but what needs to be fixed? I know.
You know when you have a snow globe and you give it to your kid on Christmas and you tell him to shake the shit out of it and make it snow? That's basically what we have to do. But make it like a salt shaker and put some holes at the top. And so this stupid fairy dust that they created around this country for the last 4 years and in the 8 years before Trump, we can flush that shit down the toilet and continue to make this constitutional republic not a democracy, where a constitutional republic, congressmen, senators, we're not a democracy. Quit using the word. And we're bringing it back. And Donald Trump is coming at it with the fire and brimstone he needed to. I'm even blown away by some of the things he's done. Listen to what he said on Air Force One the other day as he's crossing into the Gulf of America. And that woman decided to ask him, well, you're going to visit the families of those who were killed on New Year's, but you pardoned January 6ers that allegedly, I'd say allegedly, because it is alleged, but they assaulted officers on January 6th. And Trump said very matter-of-factly, they were assaulted by the officers.
Ding, ding,
This
ding.
case is closed. I don't want to talk anymore about why, what, how to these people. What I want is justice. You destroyed lives. You tried to kill people. You tried to put fear in the neighborhoods and it succeeded for 4 years. Well, my mantra is now, it's my turn. I did it your way for 4 years. Buckle up. I'm coming. But see, I'm going to do it with the difference now is I believe, until shown different, I have the Department of Justice on my left and the FBI and Kash Patel on my right. And Donald Trump standing right here with me too. So what are you going to do? And I'm demanding congressional action on what I'm telling you on this podcast. We need hearings. I want to be subpoenaed and deposed in front of Congress. Many of us need to. This needs immediate action. This can't wait 6 months or a year from now. It's go time. This iron, let's use it. We don't have enough firewood.
Amen, brother.
Irons in the fire. They put
Amen,
the iron
brother.
in the fire. They chose us. Screw it. Let's go.
Let's go. Chris Worrell, welcome back to welcome back. And we're glad you're out. I know it was a horrible experience. I'm serious. In the next several weeks, we're going to have this discussion, and we'll lay it all down on tape, as they say, and we'll go from there. We'll put the Give, Send, Go out there, and I appreciate your time. Thank you for being a patriot, and we will talk soon.
I appreciate you. God bless you guys.
Absolutely.
United we stand, and let's go get this. Let's continue to bring our country back. Look forward to talking soon.
Thanks, Chris.
You got it. All right, there we go. There's Chris Worrell, a released J6 hostage. Hell of a story.
Hell of a story.
Hell of a story. And we will wrap things up with a birthday coming up next on the Daily Mojo.
Stupidity
is not a competition. The whole island will become so,
unless you're a politician,
overly populated that it will tip over and capsize.
The Daily Mojo.
For Wednesday Hump Day, this is the 12th day of February, the year of our Lord, 2025. E1 Guru over in the Rumble chat room says, abolish the Patriot Act. Yes. FISA courts need to go away. Rubber stamp anyway. Not My Dog says the country does care. That and obviously Chris is very emotional about everything, as I would be. I don't know. I think I would have survived, but the thought of being in a cage.
I think and I believe that the post-traumatic stress on these guys and gals is probably pretty strong. They weren't expecting to be thrown in jail for 4 years.
No,
they weren't there.
No.
To harm. They were there to protest. It turned into something completely different. I get it. But
they were set up.
If the guards in the DC Gulag were doing what we've heard they were doing, and mistreating the prisoners, well, hell, they were mistreated just by being there, but mistreating them while they were there, then it was more like a POW camp.
I will say right now, I believe the words of everybody that we so far have interviewed from January
they all
6th.
Tell a similar story.
I believe
they
Chris,
all do. Yeah.
I believe Jessica. I believe them all. Yeah. And I don't believe the narrative that Washington created. I don't. I think they are a bunch of liars, and they will do anything to protect their power. So,
well, I'm still of the belief that it was a complete setup. It was a scheduled rally. They had plenty of time to set that up.
Yes. Yeah. No, I'm totally with you. And I think that's exactly what happened. And we are going to, and I want to do this, I think, with all of them, is to, not with the time constraints of the show, but we will just talk to them and record it.
Yeah.
Because Chris has a lot of things he wants to say. And I just let him go.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't trying to, I did as much as I could as I felt I could, but I want to let him. Well, I want to let him gallop.
He was intense. There's no question about it. And people listening to it, Misty messaged me and said, this is intense, and it is, because he's frustrated, he's flustered, he's, you can tell. It's just.
And I didn't even get into the whole, when they he skipped the sentencing hearing. I didn't even get into that because
yeah.
But that's a hell of a story in and of itself. Missy 13 says sounds like effing North Korea. Yeah, it does. All right, so Lizzie B sent us a gift package because it's her birthday, or it was. And I will say this: she was concerned because she says, "Well, you got to open. When are we going to open it?" She sent me a message, and she said, "Because there's cookies in there," and it's like.
Get it open. Look at that.
I knew there were cookies a week ago when I picked it up because you mentioned something on the X, and I'm like, oh, yeah. And I opened them that day. So they have not been wasting away by any means. We will open the rest of Lizzie B's birthday present for us coming up in just a second after the song that we have to play.
Once a year we celebrate with stupid hats and plastic plates. The fact that you were able to make another trip around the sun. And the whole clan gathers round and gifts and laughter do abound. And we let out a joyful sound and sing that stupid song. Happy birthday, now you're 1 year older. Happy birthday, your life still isn't over. Happy birthday, you did not accomplish much, but you didn't die this year, I guess that's good enough.
So let's drink to your fading health and hope you don't remind yourself your chance of finding fame and wealth decrease with every year. Does it feel like you're doing laps and eating food and taking naps and hoping that someday perhaps your life will hold some cheer? Happy birthday! What have you done that matters? Happy birthday! You're starting to get fatter.
Yeah, Ron.
Happy birthday! It's downhill from now on.
I didn't get any
Try
cookies.
not to remind yourself your best years are all gone.
I'm saving you from yourself. Oh! Whoa.
If cryogenics were all free, then you could live like Walt Disney and live for all eternity inside a block of ice. But instead your time is set, this is the only life you get. And though it hasn't ended yet, sometimes you wish it might. Happy birthday! You wish you had more money.
Happy birthday.
Your life's so sad it's funny. Happy birthday! How much more can you take? But your friends are hungry, so just cut the stupid cake. Happy birthday!
Is that all you got?
Happy birthday! Happy birthday, dear Phil.
Lizzie B.
Lizzie B. That song, by the way, is by... there's a download. It's on. It's just called the Funny Happy Birthday Song with lyrics. It was posted 15 years ago. It has 2.5 million views, most of which are probably ours. And there's a download link that if you click on, guess what? It ain't there.
Yeah.
So I can safely say this is the only place you can get it. Well, this and YouTube. Missy13 says, you guys rock for getting these guests on. They are owed at least this much. All right, so Lizzie B's birthday was, I don't know when it was, but I'm opening the card. I'm trying to open the card. It's a hummingbird. Oh, it's a hummingbird.
Oh.
Did I have you ever held a hummingbird?
I have not.
Because I have.
Have you?
I'm one of the, you probably don't know anyone else, and likely never will, that has held a hummingbird in their hand. I have done so.
I've seen a bunch of YouTube videos of people holding hummingbirds, but I don't know them.
You don't know them, though,
That's
do you?
correct.
You know
No.
me.
Okay.
Not in a biblical sense, but...
Yeah. Never
How
seen
much
you hold
money
a
you got?
hummingbird,
We can-
but okay.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Mm-hmm.
Dated 2/6/25. That would be February 6th. That would be 6 days ago.
Yeah.
Hi, Brad and Ron. Happy birthday. Lots of yummy treats and, yes, lights. P.S. The gay caramel. Bequet. What's a Bequet? What's a Bequet? Bequeuet. The Bequet caramels are so good. Enjoy. Love. Lizzie B. and Sal.
Probably Beckett.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Beckett.
You can't say
Probably
that.
Beckett.
Oh, is that what? Oh, I bet you're right. Is that French?
I'm right. I'm right. I don't know.
How do you know you're right?
Because you said, I bet you're right.
I know you're right. All right. So first, the tweet that I made me open the box was, she said, I learned today that white chocolate chips have gone up like 800%.
Yeah.
And that's because she went out to buy the chips to make the homemade cookies, which are fabulous. And Ron, I'm going to save you from yourself.
Okay. Thanks, Brad.
I'm not gonna share that. You're welcome.
Story of my
yay.
life.
Got pistachios. Pistachios. I've started
I
eating
love
pistachios again. I stopped for a long time.
Yeah.
But then I started again. And by the way, I haven't mentioned the weight loss thing, but let's see, did I say how much I started at? I didn't, did I? But I'm down below the nearest hundreds thing.
Okay.
That makes sense? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, which is part of, I was like, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that. And when it's all over, I'll tell you all how much. Here's the Beckett. Beckett, I barely knew her. See what I did there?
Yeah, I see.
They are caramels in there. Is it caramels or caramels?
I don't know, but if it's somebody says it wrong, you'll correct them.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Handmade in Montana. Oh, shit, though. I've got an X there in Montana. She didn't touch these, did she? Because I don't want to end up dead. Oh, look, there's a little story about the Beckett confections. So, thank you. All right, we've got... there's more. Oh, she sent... Too bad she didn't send you any. She sent me 2 packages, though. And Sal, let's not forget. Hang on a sec. Oh, what's this? Hey. What do we got here? Oh, wait. What am I doing? I'm wasting the ASMR.
Yeah.
People, quiet down a little bit, all right? Listen to the...
Uh-huh.
Do you like that? Well, do you? Do you like it or not?
God, you're weird.
These are it's more Beckett caramel cups. Damn. We've also got. I know we're running out of time, but she knows I'm queer for flashlights.
Yeah,
I think she may have sent you one too, but I am queer for I'm queer for candles and I'm queer for flashlights. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it might need to be charged. This is sexy. There's nothing better than the feeling of that long black thing right there in your hand. It just fits your palm.
Yeah.
It rolls around, doesn't it?
You can never have too many flashlights. I've decided.
No, you
that.
can't.
Because no matter how many you have, when you need one and you look around where you're at for one, there won't be one there. So get another one.
I just gave one to Jeffy because Uncle Jeffy babysat Lord Doc Kitty, who is somewhere hacking up half a lung in a fur ball.
That one you gave me one, and the insiders we gave them. That's my favorite flashlight. That little short coast one. Yeah.
You just call maple bourbon butter toffee.
Oh, you're gonna get so fat.
You know what I'm doing after the show? What? What did you just say?
You're gonna get so fat. You'll just have to send me some of them, so you don't get so fat.
I'm coming down to your room in a second. Just relax. Lizzie B, Sal, you all are awesome. Thank you for the fine birthday gifts because we love you. I mean, we will love you a long time too. And at our age, we will do a lot for very little money.
That's
we prove that on a daily basis, right?
Yes.
I'm just saying. Is that
that's it?
That it?
That's time.
What do you mean it's let's go?
That right there is 2 hours of queerity for flashlights, for auditory deliciousness, for all kinds of things, and
just queerity,
hellaciously dramatic stories.
Yep.
Known as the Daily MoJo for today, Hump Day Wednesday, the 12th day of February, the year of our Lord 2025. Did anybody learn a damn thing? I think we all did. Start over in the Rumble chat room. E1 Guru says it's like 1984, the book, not the year. I know.
With the government, yes.
It's
no, the year was kind of cool. The book,
yeah. I enjoyed the year. And Linda, I enjoyed Linda.
Really?
Oh, sorry. At least I think that was her name. Missy 13, I love the crinkle sound. You're welcome. Pecan Pie 82, E1 responding to E1 Guru, show yuck, snow yuck. Oh, I thought you said show yuck. I don't know. I think I'm drunk. I once watched a cat slam into a window trying to catch a hummingbird at the feeder at the window. The cat was inside the house. The funniest thing I've ever seen, says Freebie 38. It is, okay, it's the people falling into a hole and watching anybody, including animals, run into a screen door or a window. Why is that so damn funny?
Hell, I like watching people run into glass doors.
I know, isn't that just, they just boom. It's just funny, and I don't know why, but it does. DMXDM, the aim of the spray matters because spraying down people, beating cops, breaking things, hurting others is a huge difference between spraying the police. Yes, totally, yeah. Totally understand, yes, the question. Kathy and the Bird, flashing end to 2 hours of audio enlightening. Yes, I think so. Wade Robertson, a hummingbird got stuck in my grandpa's screen door like a dart. He decomposed there, so he pulled him out and kept the hummingbird in his shop for forever.
Wow.
Poor little dead hummingbird. Wisconsin Jackhole, hummingbirds fly in my garage all summer. I have to catch them and release them with my hands. Isn't it the weirdest thing then? You and I are kind of like brothers from the different mothers. Because we've each touched a hummingbird with our bare hands.
Yeah.
Right? We're the Hummer Brothers. Probably should work on that name.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Fake Zoe, peace and love, everybody. Deb Treadway says, take care, Mojo fam. I thought you said Mohammed. I'm like, who's Mohammed? I didn't. Much love and hugs, as always. Love and tacos from Pecan Pie 82 and the rest of y'all over in the Daily Mojo chat room. Ron?
Yes, sir.
You're amazing.
Thank you, Brad.
Whiskey, you're amazing. Are there any naked chicks in there?
No naked chicks.
They're amazing, too. And remember that we, the people, must hang together. Otherwise, we shall surely hang separately in the DC gulag if we're not careful. 6 Emperor Tyrannus, resist stupid. And good night, Doc Thompson.
Wherever you are. See you guys. Bye.
Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.